Hello, my friends. I hope you're doing well. As I mentioned last month, May was a difficult month to predict due to many fluctuations. We had this situation going on for almost the whole month. Now, this month, we have another interesting situation. Jupiter, the planet of expansion, luck, and opportunities, will form a very auspicious angle to Bitcoin's Venus. This could be a very fortunate alignment, and based on this, I could easily suggest that the possibility of Bitcoin reaching 150K. However, Jupiter will also be in a difficult angle to the planet Saturn, the planet of restriction and limitation. But I'll get to that in a minute. First, let's have a quick overview of June. There are several positive shifts happening in June. On June 9th, Jupiter will enter the sign of Cancer, which is indeed a very nice placement for Jupiter. This will be beneficial to all of us in different ways, but it will be also beneficial to few countries that belong to the sign of Cancer, such as the United States, India, New Zealand, Japan, and Netherlands. On June 6th, Venus will enter Taurus, and it will remain there until July 5th. This will probably have a positive effect for the markets in general, especially the first week of June, when Venus forms a harmonious angle to Jupiter. But Venus in Taurus will also encourage us to slow down, relax, and enjoy life. The full moon is in the 11th in the sign of Sagittarius, but this full moon squares the moon of nodes, the lunar nodes. The nodes are actually mathematical points in the sky. That's the area that the eclipses occur. The moon nodes in a personal chart show our destiny, our life purpose. So the meaning of this full moon is that many of us might find ourselves at crossroads. But with the nodes involved, we do have a choice. Now, the south node, there are two nodes, the south and the north node. The south node shows what we have to let go, and the north node shows the direction we have to go to find success and happiness. The south node at the moment is in Virgo, indicates that we have to release old patterns, what is familiar to us, our routines that no longer serve us. The north node is in Pisces, and that directs us towards success and fulfillment. So the message here is to step outside our comfort zone, visualize what we want to achieve, our dreams, and have faith in pursuing them. While this situation will affect everyone, but especially those born around June 11th and December 12th. Between June 14 and 19, things could get intense and challenging. And I'm saying this because the planet of action Mars forms a challenging angle to Uranus. That amongst other things represents disruption and sudden change. At the same time, Jupiter forms a tense angle with Saturn that is actually exact during these days. So I believe that during these days we may see financial fluctuations and uncertainty due to some unexpected events shown by Mars and Uranus' challenging aspect. Guys, have in mind that this aspect is very intense and shows conflict, not only because Mars is in Leo, where it feels quite strong, but also both planets are in their last degrees, which are critical degrees, making the situation a lot more intense. So during these days, and I'm talking about June 14 until the 19th, I suggest to be patient and cautious of your reactions, especially if you were born 2 or 3 days before August 22nd, May 19th, February 17th, and November 21st. On June 25th, the new moon aligns nicely with Jupiter, making it one of the luckiest new moons of the year. Many situations, I believe, will turn positive. Probably the global economy also. If you're planning to start something new, this is the time to do it, even a few days after the new moon. This lucky alignment applies to everyone, but it's especially lucky if you were born around the days of the new moon on June 25th or around December 25th. So this month, it's my birthday. So if you like to invite me for coffee or treat me to a small birthday gift, you're welcome to use the super thanks to send me a small contribution of $2. I also like to thank you for all your likes, and I noticed some of you share my videos too. Now let's look at Bitcoin. If you would like to know what lies ahead for Bitcoin, I will start working on my 3-month predictions for Bitcoin. And this time will be for the month of August, September, and October. I believe it will be ready in a couple of weeks. In my case, it's not done until it's done. You remember that I also do personal readings, so if you like more information, you can find my email in the description. And because I really want everyone to be able to afford it, I do keep my prices pretty low. As always, though, remember that this is not a financial advice, and while my predictions are often correct, I can also make a mistake. I can be wrong. So please do not base your investment decisions based only on my forecast. I mentioned this many times that I've been practicing astrology for over 40 years now. I'm turning 69, can you believe it? But Bitcoin is not easy to predict, but guys, I'm doing my best. I spent hours doing this video. Now, June in general looks quite promising for Bitcoin, though there will be some correction periods. The few days of June do not look very positive, so a correction is possible, but I don't believe it's going to be anything major. Have in mind that there are many aspects forming each day, maybe 20 or more, but I only mentioned couple because otherwise I believe you're going to be bored. So the first days there are a few difficult angles, such as the Sun quincunx to Bitcoin's Sun, and Mars is in opposition to Bitcoin's Neptune. Around the 3rd of June, Mercury, which is the planet that represents information, but also trade, forms a tense angle with Bitcoin's Uranus and Saturn. It's an angle that is called T-square, pretty intense. I would not be surprised if during these days we're going to hear some sudden and probably not so good news. After the 4th, things start to look better. This positive trend seems to last until around June 10th, on my birthday. Venus makes a nice angle to Bitcoin's Venus, and Pluto and Jupiter, the planet of luck and expansion, will be in a very auspicious angle to Bitcoin's Venus, and that's from the 4th until the 10th. As I mentioned in the beginning, that we do have a situation this month that is a bit difficult to interpret, and that is while Jupiter, the luckiest planet, will form a highly auspicious angle to Bitcoin's Venus, but Jupiter in the collective chart at the same time will be in a challenging aspect to both Saturn and Neptune. Now, Jupiter is the planet that represents expansion, while Saturn symbolizes limitation and contraction. Jupiter's tense angle to Neptune suggests that we should be cautious about excessive optimism. So be careful, guys. From the 14th until around the 18th or 19th, I mentioned this before when I did the month of June, there are challenging aspects in the collective, showing volatility in the global economy. This will probably have an impact on Bitcoin's price, causing a correction from around the 14th until around the 18th. It could be 18th, 19th. The sky is too big to be so precise. However, after the 18th, the price looks like it's going to rise again with few auspicious angles, and the price, because there are going to be few auspicious angles, and the price could go up, I believe, quite a lot. These days, Venus makes a positive angle to both Bitcoin's Uranus and Saturn. But there might be a brief correction around the 21st and the 22nd. But after the 22nd and until around the 27th, well, things look very positive. Now, from the 27th until the end of the month, it looks like there's going to be a correction again. So that's it, my friends. Take care. Try to enjoy June, and we'll talk soon again. Bye, and thank you for being here.